Cecily?
Thanks.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak tonight. I greatly appreciate it. My presence here in front of all of you in this room full of Toastmasters is a step along the way in a journey that has been extremely important to me. That's because speaking has never come easily to me. Now that might come as a surprise given my apparently outgoing nature. However, sharing out loud what's inside of me is one of the essential challenges of my life. To begin with, I was quite a shy child. When I was with family and friends, I did fine. But with people that I didn't know very well, I tended to be very quiet. And looking back on it, I think it came from two things. First of all, I was a people pleaser. So if I didn't know somebody, I wasn't sure how to make them happy, so I just stayed quiet. The other factor was that I had a very smart older sister. And with the reasoning of a child, I decided that if she's super smart, I couldn't possibly be, right? So I kept quiet because I thought I wouldn't sound intelligent. Shyness in a child is not remarkable, so except for what happened next, I wouldn't have much of a story to tell you tonight. Fast forward to third grade. There were 3 classrooms of children at my school in third grade, and for the first time we were regrouped, and we were given specialty teachers for English instruction. And I was placed with Mrs. Ginter. And one day, we were discussing a book that we'd read, and she posed a question. And I bravely raised my hand, and she called on me. I have no idea what I said. I don't remember her exact question or the words that she said to me. But what I vividly remember is this. The gist of what she said was that my answer was the stupidest response she had ever heard. Now, many children, most children probably, would just brush that off. But I could see from the vantage point of an adult that that comment had a profound effect on me. In fact, that moment I erected a barrier between my heart and my mouth, right here. And it really effectively silenced me in many, many ways for literally decades to come. Thereafter, I was very afraid of sharing my opinions. I was afraid that I would sound stupid. I was afraid that someone would yell at me, like Mrs. Ginter did. I sure didn't please her. And that was that. You know, I really felt like I would make someone unhappy. So, fortunately, I wasn't completely silent. Through my years in school, I would participate when it came to factual responses. So math class, science, or a subject that I knew very well. I would feel comfortable with that. And the same goes with social conversation. Also through writing, through essays or written exams, I could express my heart. And so that bolstered my confidence through the success that I would have in that way. Also, somewhere along the way, I discovered the excitement and the confidence that comes from hitting your fears head on. And I really have come to live by the maxim, identify your fear and go there. And through that process, I started chiseling away at that wall that I had erected by going after leadership roles, and also speaking to bigger groups and to people unknown to me. And this was really scary, but slowly over the years I did that through Girl Scouting, through being a resident advisor in the dorms at college. As a young adult, I led a Girl Scout troop for a number of years and also started a lobbying committee in Chicago for the Sierra Club and spoke to legislators. And then, of all things, I actually made a career out of speaking. For 7 years, I led corporate seminars in negotiations and sales and management. So certainly I had come a long, long way since third grade. But all of this progress had one thing in common, and that was I was speaking from my head, and not from the deepest and dearest places inside of me. And then 15 years ago, I started a book club. Again, that talking in a book club probably doesn't sound like any big deal for most people, but for me, the idea of sharing opinions and feelings and speaking spontaneously in a free-form discussion, that was still terrifying for me 15 years ago. But once again, flying straight in the face of my fears served me well, and soon I reveled in that freedom and the release that I got from using my full voice in that small group setting. And so I'm here tonight because I want to experience that in a larger group setting. I'm hoping that through Toastmasters, I will be able to learn more about not just speaking with my mind, but with my heart and my total being to larger groups. And I've come to so greatly appreciate that moment in time with Mrs. Ginter, because she set me on this journey. So I'm very appreciative of that. I'm appreciative to each and every one of you for allowing me this practice, for the feedback that you'll be giving me tonight and in the future, and most of all, for allowing me to join you on this wonderful Toastmasters journey.